Hi, Dr. Ben Newman. I am a coronavirus researcher, and I'm here to answer your questions with published science as far as I can. Next question is from Renee, who we know from high school and the world. Yeah, hi, how you doing? Renee asks, can you recommend best safety practices for an office setting for in-person meetings? All right. Yeah, best practice is not to be there in person. I don't know what has to be done in person, but for some of those, I've gone to some of those over the summer, and it can be done. Yeah. So the way I've seen it done, that anecdotally at least didn't lead to any infections, although it's way too small a sample size for any kind of reliable scientific conclusion to be drawn. Um, is like, yeah, people far apart. Limit the room capacity to something like a third of what it used to be. Keep your masks on all the time. Make sure everybody does. And yeah, just don't talk too loud. So you get more respiratory droplets and more will come through a mask the louder you're talking. So if you got a microphone, use a microphone. Maybe that's a practical thing. Yeah. Um, yeah, so the stuff that you're saying, distancing, 6 feet, face coverings, limiting capacity, is there a time limit we should enforce? I would say minimize the amount of time. You can, like, I've been to a lot of meetings, and most meetings, I don't know, it takes them 15, 20 minutes to really get going and get to the point. Yeah. Get somebody in there who's focused enough that if you have to do this meeting in person, that they can just start it and go and get everybody to prepare ahead. Yeah. So they don't have to sit there and, think with their tongues hanging out while you're waiting for, for somebody to catch COVID, basically. Um, I would say, yeah, try and limit it. I don't know that there's a particular time. Shorter is better than longer. If you had to draw a hard line, it's a totally arbitrary hard line, but I'd say an hour at the outside, but you'd like to keep everything under half an hour. And see if you can get the meeting done in 15 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes tops. Most conversations can be done in that amount of time. Think back to all the conversations you've had with real people. Yeah, there's not that much information transfer. So yeah, you got to find a way to cut out the showboating that some people like to do at these meetings, and just sort of just meeting this. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I would say. It can be done. It should be done sparingly, if at all. And if you've got large groups of people, it's kind of got to be on Teams or Zoom or whatever's your favorite thing, favorite product, teleconferencing product, I would say. Yeah, the hand sanitizer and wiping down the desks and stuff. That's okay. That nobody's licking desks and getting COVID. Probably in your meetings, I would imagine. Yeah, if it was a meeting with a bunch of preschoolers, I'd probably change that opinion. But I'm assuming that that is not where you work. um, so yeah, let's see. Any other considerations? A lot of people like to bring coffee to meetings or little donuts and pizzas and foods. That's, yeah, there's not a good way to do that anymore. You pretty much got to get your drink or your thing, get out of there, back to a sealed office if you have one, because a cubicle even is not going to cut it because it's open at the top, and just sort of slurp your coffee there, get it in you, and get back to the meeting. Yeah. And maybe cutting out those things from meetings, well, one will make them less pleasurable, so people won't want to stay. And it'll just take less time because you're doing fewer things. You don't have all that non-meeting togetherness there. Yeah, there will be occasions where it would be important to communicate, maybe even in person, like to knock around some kind of idea where you need a bunch of people to have a little bit of input into it. So yeah, I can see it. Yeah. I don't know. See if that works for you. Let me know how it goes. And if you come up with anything better, yeah, I am interested because I too have to go to meetings sometimes. Mostly they have been virtual, but some people really like in-person meetings. It has happened. So there we go. All right. Thanks very much. This has been Ask Dr.